Have you on our webinar today. We're not quite ready to start. We've got another minute or two, but I know some of you are already on board. There's a good number of you from all parts of the world, so please hold tight for another minute and then we will start. Right, good morning, afternoon and evening again. We're going to kick off this webinar right now. Thank you so much for taking the time and the effort to join you. We at Konftel know how hard these times are for everybody, and you know, we share all of the best wishes to each and every one of you, and hope that you all can stay safe and well. And it's probably a good time to be talking about these kind of things that we're talking about today, because they can be very helpful in these particularly uncertain times. So I'm going to present to you today. My name's Jeff May. This is me. I've left on here some contact details. You have the opportunity today to ask questions by raising your hand. You're all muted, so I can't hear you, but hopefully if anybody's got any questions, you can kind of raise them on your on the tool on the right hand side, and I'll try and answer them today whilst we're on. But you've got my contact details there should you need to get hold of me. You can also contact me via uk@konftel.com. So we're going to kind of present to you now. I'm going to turn off my video screen temporarily whilst I go through the presentation, and then I'll put it on again at the end. So we've got an hour scheduled. Perhaps won't last that long, but let's get started. So I am now going to present to you the presentation. So just a little note on who we are. We've been in this industry for 30 odd years. We've been in it longer than any other company. So we're presenting to you today from the experience of our collective business, all our customers, our partners, and our staff. So we've been in this business for 32 years. So everything we're presenting to you now is kind of based on that foundation. It's the space that we're in, collaboration, and hopefully we can give you information today that is going to be more than helpful. So we are going to be presenting video meetings and trying to bring ease of use to everybody. So I know on the seminar today we've got some end users, we've got some resellers, there's a mixture of people. So if people want to go into more detail, contact me. But what I'm going to try and present to you now is kind of like the things to make this possible for as many people as possible and make it easy. So we're going to be looking at the different needs of different people, the kind of conferencing that's available, the spaces and the rooms that conferencing takes place, that collaboration develops into, what you need to do to get started, what you need to be aware of, and connectivity, networks, broadband, or whatever we need to do. And then the actual experience itself, getting started on time. That would be great, wouldn't it? It's always a challenge for a lot of us, but you know, being ready, working well, and having a very, very efficient meeting. So that's what I'm going to be going through, and I'm going to pick up some scenarios. I'm going to cover remote working, home working, and office working, a lot of topical subjects right now. So when we start off, and this is important for everybody, we all need to know, who are we involving in the meetings? Are we going to be having lots of internal or external meetings? Is it going to be with suppliers or customers or staff or colleagues? It's good to know who the audience is, because that can depend whether you need Do you need video? Do you need a particular quality of video meeting? Is audio sufficient? Are you going to be talking to people as a lone worker, or as a small group, or a large? Because, you know, different companies, different people operate differently. Some people enjoy having kind of these kind of meetings. Other people are new to them. So we have to look at the approach of people, their attitudes towards collaboration, and particularly to video. You know, some people like seeing themselves on a big screen. A lot of us don't. So we have to be understanding of the kind of market that we're getting into. And we have to look at, you know, people from home are equally involved, equally as important as people in the office environment. So they need to be considered, not just packed off and say, join us, you know, and good luck. And that's the reality. You know, today, more than ever, people are being sent home, and they are being equipped with certain facilities. But they're not necessarily trained. They're not necessarily given the right equipment. So we're going to try and cover all of that stuff and look at the different platforms, both hardware and software, that are available for all of us in these different environments, and what we need in terms of connectivity and whatever. So that's the kind of information that we all need to be asking ourselves, everybody in our organizations and ourselves as individuals. What do we need? And do the analysis ahead of making decisions. And then once you're kind of like into that questioning and thought mode, we have to then look at what is it that we're trying to achieve. Are we only equipping people for exclusive video conferencing? And that's very hot, very trendy, because if we can't be with people, we like to see people. But it's not always about video, because quite a lot of people will still be having audio only conferences and collaboration. People will use their mobile phones at home or in the office, and there may be several people connected on that call. So it's not always just about video. So you need to understand what is the purpose of the meetings, how often are they going to be for each one. Do people want to be using their own devices, or do they prefer to turn into a room, turn up, and just use the facilities that are already there? Those are key questions when it comes to video meetings particularly, and I'm going to explain and cover the differences there. Are any of us going to be in a situation where we might be using one particular type of meeting? Perhaps it's like we are now, we're all on a kind of a web call, or maybe people that we need to speak to can't join us, so we need to call them either from our phone onto their mobile call, or the mobile phone, or their office phone. So are people going to have a need to connect different networks together? And that's something we call hybrid conferencing that we need to be aware of. Is that something that might affect us? And if some people have already got equipment, can they use it? Can they extend it or expand it to add video? And the answer is yes, with certain types of equipment, and I'll cover what's that. So it's not always about a big upfront investment. It can be a natural evolution to what people have already got. And basically, you know, what about the environment itself, the room that we are going to be working in? The key things always are to kind of minimize any background noise. You know, more and more of us are working from home. Not sure how many on today's call are working from home, but I'm absolutely sure that there's more than there normally is on a conference call or a webinar like this, because we are being asked to work from home. So that environment is different than a working environment. If you're working from home on your own, you can control the noise a lot of the time. If there's a family running around, that gets a lot more difficult. So you just need to be aware of the environment you're in to kind of think about what it is that you could best use for that environment. Are you going to be in an open space? Like a lot of these huddle rooms nowadays are open, they're not enclosed. Some still are. So you need to be aware, you know, does the equipment that you're using suit itself for those different kind of enclosures? And the size of the space makes a difference. One size does not fit all. You know, there are different solutions for different size of rooms, just as there are for different networks that you might want to connect onto. And we're going to cover that as well today. You need to consider the lighting in the room. You know, side lighting, backlighting is not good on a video. Too much fuss or too much attention at the back is not good. A lot of the apps today and a lot of the services, you can actually phase out the background so you just concentrate on the face. So be aware of that. You know, when you're actually choosing the equipment that you like and the services, think of these things. And then when you're using them, be aware of them as well. And make sure you and everybody else is aware of all of the connectivity options and issues. You know, some of the video services can be very bandwidth heavy. Can you cope that? Have you got sufficient bandwidth to provide that? You need to kind of be aware of what suits a particular environment, and what is working well in an office might not be great in a home worker who's got limited broadband capability, or do they need boosters? So it's worth knowing what environment you're going into, what network connectivity is available. Are you going to be using Wi-Fi, and will the equipment and the choices that you're making suit those different scenarios? So, you know, we're in kind of a inquisitive mode at the moment, trying to kind of ensure that we know what the different environments are and therefore what the solutions are. And then when you're actually in the room itself, these could be any size, really. You know, there's a couple of examples here. You know, where you place the equipment is key. If you want everything at the front of the room, that's great, but will people in a bigger room be able to hear it? Is the camera suitable for close-up viewing or distant viewing? There are different specifications available. Can you extend the audio if you need to? You know, can you start off with a small meeting at the front of a room, but have that equipment be suitable as that meeting expands with more people on another day? Can you configure the kit remotely and make the connectivity and the installation as easy as possible, and make sure that the equipment that you're buying is upgradable? So that's kind of key things that a lot of people don't consider, but they really make a difference when you're trying to make sure that everybody's having the best experience. So here we go. And we've got in the meeting itself, when you start a meeting or even beforehand, check what we've got. A lot of us are new to collaboration. Some of us have been doing it for many, many years, but it's always worth spending that time before a meeting to check that everything is as you want it, that the audio is clear, that you're using the right devices, you're not falling back on the standard laptop audio. If there's a group of people, that just will not work. So just take time to make sure that your video and the audio are correct and that you're ready. When your meeting starts, you're in. We can start on time, we can all be very productive. And I've said before, check the background, check the noise, look into the camera. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of reading out and looking at my slides, but you know, when you're having a discussion, it's best to focus on the camera. So it's just like an eye-to-eye contact, and that's far more effective. And 80% of communication comes from body language. So if you can see what people are doing and you can look in the eye and kind of get that understanding, it's a fantastic collaboration tool. And as I mentioned previously, wherever you can when using video, try and go for a fixed network rather than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi can be fantastic, but it can be unreliable. So be aware. So what are the right solutions for any organization? And realistically, that means lots and lots of different locations, environments, spaces, coverage. Here's an illustration of the kind of users. You can get everything from a home worker or a one remote working person using their own desktop through to any size of meeting rooms, huddle rooms, management offices, boardrooms, auditoriums, conference centers, you know. So this kind of equipment needs to be suited for the right environment. And the great news is that there is something for everything. So all that fantastic array of users and user environments and situations, there is a solution. And then there's choices to be made. And probably when it comes to video, one of the key choices for all of us is whether we want to be using our own equipment. So we take our laptop into a meeting and use that as the host, or whether we just want to turn up into a room and use what's already there. There's pros and cons of both. When it comes down to bring your own, that really is about using the device that you are most familiar with. You take your laptop, you launch the app, whichever app it is that you want to use. It could be Zoom or Teams or Skype or Hangouts, Webex. There are a plethora of these services. So you use what you like to use and use different ones. Sometimes if you're launching a meeting that you like to use your particular app, fine, you do that. But someone else might invite you onto a different one that they like to use. That's fine. Just make sure that the apps that you're using and choosing to use can allow people to download them easily and join a meeting instantly. And critically, ensure that the equipment that you're connecting to your laptop, so the audio device, the camera, make sure that they will work with all of those different apps. So if you're a Teams user, choose kit that will work with Teams, but choose the kit that will also work with Zoom or Hangouts or anything at all, Slack, whatever, because there are so many different meetings taking place on different platforms. The kit you needs to be universal, not specialist or dedicated. And then the great thing about this bring your own meeting, it's your device, you're familiar, it's quick, it's easy. Everything else that you can plug into that is USB or HDMI. So a simple USB connection and you've got a camera connected. A simple USB connection, you've got a fantastic high definition audio device. HDMI to your big screen so you can have a big presentation if you wanted to. And it's easy. And that's the beauty of this, this bring your own meeting device. And you can select the different endpoints for your different environment. If it's a big meeting, you have a big camera, a big audio device. If it's a small meeting, you have a small options. So you can have solutions with this arrangement for any size. It's consistent. You could do the same in your home office as you can in the boardroom. So it's a kind of familiar, easy setup, very, very high quality devices to allow everybody to work the same way wherever they are. Alternatives to that are to use video conferencing from an all-in-one device, where you kind of get a inbuilt video and microphone in one, where you can sit it on the top of a big screen that would be part of the room installation, typically a touch screen, or if not a touch screen, you might have a separate nook where people can actually control from somewhere else. So this is traditionally how video conferencing started before all of the apps came on board, where you'd have dedicated point-to-point video conferencing, typically suitable for the larger corporate environments. But increasingly, these devices are coming into more affordable, smaller room solutions as well. And we will be launching our own version of this very shortly, which will still allow you to launch different apps as well. But it does require more installation, more specialist setup. So it's not necessarily as easy. It's a great solution, but it's not necessarily the easiest or the most cost effective. So what I'm going to concentrate on with the rest of the presentation is this bring your own meeting, because every one of us can do this. If we want to get into video, easy setup video, we just use our own kit and get great quality cameras and audio devices to suit. And we can do that anywhere we want to. So any location, very easy. It could be portable. What I'm using in my office today, I can transport that easily into my living room and connect it up to my big screen TV and have a party. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Or we could take it into the office. Next time we are visiting there, we can take that same kit and set it up in my office at the office, and just use the same kit everywhere we go. So it's a really cost-effective, very, very simple way for all of us to get videoing with the apps and devices that we use every day. So what is it that we bring to the party here? So let's look at the video side of things. So first of all, we have a choice of cameras. They're both USB cameras and they are both high definition. The camera 20 is our huddle room, our kind of work from home solution. It's a very, very, very wide angle lens, 123-degree wide angle, fantastic in low light optimization. It comes with its own remote control as well, so you can preset positions in a room if you've got a number of people, rather than having the camera zigging around the room every time someone's talking. If anybody's presenting, just focus it on the presenter. If someone's then got another presentation the other side of the room, present it, focus on them. So a really top quality 8x zoom, so you can kind of really focus in on the people in the room. Perfect for those close-up meetings, and high quality, but USB, that's all it is, and you can USB that into your laptop and have instant video conferencing. So a really super solution that is available to all. If you've got a bigger room, there is a bigger camera, our Cam 50. This is more of a permanent installation. It requires a power supply as well, a power source. So it would connect into the power line and then a USB connection into your device running the app. This is a big room camera. It's got a really powerful optical lens, 12x zoom, so people at the very far end of a boardroom can be clearly seen just as much as the people at the front of the room. It's better for those meetings that are a little bit further away from the camera, because the field of view is not 123 degrees, it's more of a 72.5. So it kind of is designed to fit the longer rooms. It's got 360-degree pan tilt zoom. It's got the same kind of presets with remote control. So we've got two fantastic quality cameras that anybody can add to any of their video meetings. And for every video connection, you have to have top quality audio. There is no substitute. If the audio isn't good, the meeting is not working. You can sometimes tolerate less than perfect video. You cannot tolerate less than perfect audio. And so we bring a choice to you as well. From left to right, you can see that they look slightly different, different in size as well, but they're also different in connectivity. On the left-hand side, the Konftel Ego, that is our Bluetooth USB microphone and speaker. Perfect for a home worker, perfect for a small huddle room. Really powerful, crystal clear HD sound that you can either connect to your laptop for these kind of meetings, or you can Bluetooth your mobile phone. So if you're working from home, you can have a choice of either working on your mobile or speaking through your webinar or your video into your laptop. If you wanted something a little bit more powerful, we have the 55 series, which has got a bigger display, it's a slightly bigger unit. So rather than having 1 to 5 or 6 people, you could have 8, 10 people. You can even expand it with expansion microphones. You can even connect it to a desktop IP telephone. So if you've got a desk phone either in your home office or your business office that you wanted to use for hands-free calling, but it's not powerful enough, it doesn't capture 360-degree sound, just connect it to the Konftel 55 and also connect it to your mobile phone via Bluetooth and also via USB to your laptop. So you can have any network connectivity you want with a really crystal clear audio device. The 300 series is bigger again. If you've got the need to have a larger room, take one of our 300 series, which come with their own dial capability. They are telephones. They will connect to a telephone network and you can make audio calls independent of anything else. But if you want video calls, just like everything else, you just USB them to your laptop or to a PC and you can join in as an audio device for those video calls. And if you really want the best and the flagship product in the market today, that's my humble opinion, but it's also viewed by a lot of independent judges. We've won a lot of awards for introducing our Konftel 800. Using brand new beamforming technology combined with our OmniSound technology gives a fantastic quality of audio, and it's a flexible product. It can connect to an IP network as simply as it can to a video using USB, and there's Bluetooth capabilities as well. So if you want the very best audio quality for any room, but particularly for the bigger rooms, and really big rooms, this is the kind of solution, because you can actually connect 1 or 2 or 3 together, which we call daisy chaining. So fantastic quality for every size of room. So that range of audio products brings a range of network connectivity. There are wireless devices using DECT, there's Bluetooth devices, there are even mobile 3G and 4G devices using company or individual owned SIM cards. We have Bluetooth, USB, analog, and IP. So some of them do combinations, some of them will just do their own. So price points matter. We understand that. So if you know exactly what you want, we have solutions for every type of network. Our challenge is find one we can't. And I mentioned before, the key thing about the audio is the quality. It's got to be top quality. We've been in this business longer than anybody else. So we really do try to make sure we can offer you the best audio solution. We've patented our own technology. We're developing it all the time. And it's the foundation of every meeting as far as we're concerned, to make sure everybody can be heard clearly and seen visibly. I've mentioned this in passing before. The great advantage of having great audio is that you can actually mix different networks. So we could all be on a web call like this now, and perhaps I need somebody else to join this call who hasn't joined. I could just use a Konftel, dial them into their mobile phone or their desk phone, get them to answer, and I can just press the button on the Konftel, and people on the telephone call can join us on this web call now. So we never need to waste a meeting. If people aren't using the same platform, it doesn't matter. If the people are using different networks, it doesn't matter. We can always connect people together. And we call that hybrid conferencing. It's really powerful. When you're in a business environment, you want it to be instant and everybody available. And that's how you can ensure that. And then what else do we bring to the party? Well, we try to think about the user and how to make it ultra simple for them to connect all of these different devices. We've got a camera, we've got an audio device, there could well be a screen, there might be a projector. There's a lot of equipment that people are taking their laptop into a room and thinking, I've got to connect all of these things together. I don't do this very often. I've not done it before. Whichever scenario they're in, well, let's make that simple. Let's take away all the headache and just allow you and me and everybody to connect by connecting just one cable, one USB cable into their laptop, so that everything comes to life. And this is a visual of how that works. One orange cable into your laptop, the other end is connected into our one cable connection hub, the OCC hub. And that's in the center of the diagram at the moment. And into that hub, everything else is pre-connected. So if we've got a screen with a HDMI lead, it will go into the hub. If we've got our audio device, we can connect it into the hub, and our video camera, USB it into the hub. All of that is pre-done in advance of the meeting, so any user can go into anywhere with this connection, with this setup, and just connect one device, and that then brings everything to life. Pretty much all modern day laptops with Windows 10, it will work automatically. You don't even need to do anything. If you've got an older generation, just download Display Link, a 2-minute download, and then that laptop is ready to go every time. So from a user's perspective, this little hub makes all the difference. And sometimes it might be that you don't just always want to go into the hub. Maybe you want to put your HDMI into your laptop. You can still use your laptop ports if you want to. So you've got the choice, but the hub gives you that choice. And maybe there are situations in a business where a company wants to have a dedicated PC or a NUC or something in a room which is permanently there, so people come in and use that particular device exactly the same. Our kit will work equally in that scenario, so people can then load whatever that corporate company wants them to use, whichever app. So your own laptop or a company PC or NUC, whatever, it's all the same to us. Something else that we bring, which is increasingly critical, and that is having a remote control for the conference device, for the conference equipment. So we have our own app. It's called Konftel Unite. It's free. Everybody can download it from Google Play or Apple Store. It's available to everybody. Once you've downloaded that, that means that you can then pair via Bluetooth your mobile phone to the Konftel device, and you have a Bluetooth connectivity. Once you've done that, whenever you approach the room, you just open the Konftel Unite app, and it will say, do you want to connect to the Konftel? You say yes. It will then allow you to be the remote control using your own mobile phone. And that means that if you wanted to make an audio call to somebody in your contacts list, you just click on their name and the app sends all of the numbers to the audio, to the Konftel phone, which then sends it across the IP network or the GSM network or the analog network, whichever it's connected to. And you have a conference call. If you wanted to add a second or a third person, you just click on the name and a big red button says, yes, I want to connect. And that second person or a third person or more is connected. So it's easy. None of us are really experts in using new equipment that we don't use every day. We're all experts with using this. We can go into our calendar and join a meeting from the calendar. So send all of the joining instructions remotely from here to the Konftel, and it will automatically dial the bridge number, the access code, the PIN number in the right order first time. So we're started. And it's all through this simple device that we use every single day. Importantly, that's familiar to us. Devices in the room that we don't are not. So we can all be professional collaborators using the Konftel Unite app. Today, it's more important than ever because we're all being told, be very careful about touching other shared devices. Sanitize, wash your hands, whatever. If you don't ever need to touch the phone, this is a perfect solution. So be aware of the kind of things that can make a big difference in these particular times. And then we need to make sure that we can give you solutions that will fill any room. So, you know, we have expansion capabilities. We can use most of our devices. You can add expansion microphones. So you can kind of double the capacity of the room, the number of people in the room. In this day and age, we have to be aware of social distancing. It is going to be with us. None of us can predict the future, except one thing is we've got to be very, very careful. So the meeting spaces that we're going to occupy, that we are occupying, they need to allow for wider distance between people. That has an implication on the equipment that we all use. We need to correctly specify and choose equipment that can cover that area. And this is just to give you an illustration that with some of our devices, the Konftel 800 specifically, you can connect one to the network, but you can expand it with either its own microphones or additional Konftel 800s, so you can get the full top quality beamforming sound on all three devices. For a room that might have previously done 10 or 20 people, you can do 30, 40, 50 people or more. And you're covering for that extra space that today we have to be very, very aware of. And it's all about the right solutions. If you don't have the right vehicle, it will be a challenging ride. We've got to think about all of the different environments and setups and equipment and network. But if we do it, we can have top quality collaboration all of the time. So let's look at a few scenarios, and let's start with the hot one, working from home. It's a must for every business. Some businesses are exclusively doing it. Some businesses are doing it for whoever they can allow to do that. So let's look at these scenarios. The typical scenario is to send people with a headset to work on their own, in their own office or their own house, their apartment, with a laptop. Great, super. But it's not the only answer. There are choices out there, and the fact is, home working is going to get it's huge. It's affecting the world, and it's probably going to be with us for a while. And even when things hopefully normalize, we will all be aware of the flexibility of home working. Some companies will take it as an opportunity to do more of it. They don't need as much office space anymore. So there will be a massive change in our working environment that is starting right now. And so we've got to be aware that there are other alternatives to having a headset. And having the Konftel Ego, the picture here shows a great alternative. You can have your laptop running, you can have it connected to a bigger screen if you're screen sharing. You can be running whatever app you want to be running for your meetings, for video. And instead of having a headset on your face, and we're all told medical advice in every country is don't touch your face. So the minimum things that we have, unfortunately, I have to wear glasses, which means I'm around my face. I'd rather not be. So if I've not got a headset as well to worry about, I can speak freely and openly into a Konftel Ego in my home office. I can connect that to my mobile phone. So I'm not always on a webinar or a video meeting. I will be taking mobile calls. I can Bluetooth it to the Ego as well. And it's always charged. If it's connecting to USB, it's available. I'm not going to worry about a headset running out of charge or using it whilst it's dead. So there's a lot of advantages in having your own dedicated USB device and Bluetooth device. And it's really, really, really powerful. Add to that a top quality camera. Our Cam 20, it's clips easily onto the top of a screen. It could even sit on your desk as well if you wanted to. You could position it on a wall. It's portable, or it could be permanent located. But have that top quality image so that anybody working from home is equally involved. They're not a peripheral hazy figure on an old laptop webcam. They are on a laptop camera. They are using really great quality tools so that they are equally involved. They feel as involved and as important. And it's simple USB connectivity. So this is a great option for home workers. Be as involved as you should be, as everybody else has always been in the office. So that's kind of a quick focus on the Ego. I don't need to say much more about that. But it's a great solution. It's also really good if you think about the office or the home worker. It's not just anymore about people like I am now, like we are, sat in front of a screen doing our day-to-day work. Some people's day-to-day work is active. There are yoga teachers, Pilates teachers, there are teachers, there are artists that are doing work from home that have to present to people. And so they need that flexibility to be able to move around, not bother about jarring a headset or a webcam that doesn't show a good image of what they're doing. So the home working environment is not just about sitting at a desk in front of your screen. It's massive, and there's so many different applications. The versatility of our kit, the Ego and the Cam 20, applies to everybody. It's a great option and a great alternative. And so that's just giving you an idea of how the camera can look. So it's really just so simple to use, but so adaptable for every environment. And what about when you're working from home and we're all isolated, as we all are now, right? It does get challenging. So a few tips from our company that have been working from home for 15 years. It doesn't need to be a bad experience. It can be and should be, as good as you can make it. We're all in this together. The rules are different. We're making the rules as we go. We can wear pretty much what we like. We don't have to color code. We don't have to put a shirt and tie on or whatever. We can be ourselves. We just need to be able to communicate. We've got to be comfortable. We're doing this now for weeks and weeks, probably months, maybe longer. Some of us, it will become a normal way of life. So just embrace it. You can't operate in isolation with a family around you as if it's just like being in the office. We understand that. Everybody does. Show your kids off. I mean, it's not going to be easy for any of us, but it's the reality. We are all in it together. And if we're doing this now, it's important that we kind of take time to schedule, put a plan together every day, make it happen, take time for breaks, schedule breaks. ring your colleagues, schedule a meditation class, whatever you need to do. Just do it. You know, we've got all of the time to do this. Many of us will be working all hours, so it's not as if anybody's kind of like going to be feeling guilty because they're not putting the time in. All of us will try to, but it won't always be easy. So don't feel guilty. Just use the time when you can. But at the end of the day, turn off the lights, go to see your family, and go and have some fun. And talking about that, have fun. You know, we're all in isolation. We can't just go stir crazy. We have to communicate. We're all now increasingly having online meetings with our family and friends that we can't see anymore. You know, we're downloading all of the apps, we're playing games. Don't restrict that to having one little laptop or one headset between you. Just take exactly the same equipment that you have in the office, your Cam 20 and your Ego and your laptop, connect it to your TV. Have all the people in the family sat wherever they want to be. If some people are isolating and they can't be in the room, let them be outside but still on the screen. Let them people in the room have their space between them. Involve everybody. Don't be channeled into one little laptop camera where everybody's huddled together. It's not safe anymore. We should be giving distance, but enjoy the opportunities to have virtual relationships and use the same equipment. So there's much more flexibility required and needed, and this kit is perfect. So, you know, we all have to live differently, so we have to think differently, and we have to provide our solutions differently. So whether you're a reseller or an end user, there are a lot more applications now to be considering and choosing the right equipment. So I've talked about this. This is our Cam 20 and our Ego. And we provide a little package. So it's a perfect one box solution for all of that kit I've just focused on there. It all comes as one little kit. It's got everything in it that you need, and you can have it for yourself, or you can have it for a small group of you. You can have it for your family, or when you're in the office, a huddle room situation. And it's all in one. So you get the audio, you get the Konftel Ego, you get the Konftel camera, and you get the hub to connect it all together, and all the cables. So all you need is your own laptop or a PC, and if you want a screen, connect it via the HDMI cables. So when we're talking about easy video conferencing, it doesn't really get much easier than this. That's easy to use and at a price point better than pretty much anything else on the market. For a few £100, everybody can be having top quality video conferencing. But it's not just about the home worker. It is right now the hot topic, but those home workers are increasing, but there are still some people in the office. Those people in the office need to be on more meetings with their colleagues, with their customers. There aren't going to be as many face-to-face meetings. So we need to look at the office and what do we have to offer for those people who are doing more and more collaboration. So you could offer the huddle room that I just told you, but if you needed something a little bit bigger, maybe for 12 people, just simply swap out one audio device, the Ego, and add in the Konftel 55. It's a perfect solution. It's USB, but it also gives the advantage of connecting it also to your desk phones as well. So if you wanted to have your desk phone connected at the same time to a Teams or a Zoom meeting, you can. So in the office, just be aware that you can expand not just the size, but the connectivity of how you're collaborating and how you can put people together. Or maybe it's not just about the audio. Maybe you wanted to have a more powerful video camera. Perhaps you've got a business that needs detail, attention to detail, focus. So swap the Cam 20 for the Cam 50. Really simple. Plug one out, plug one in. And again, this comes available as a package. So I'm showing you here all of the different kind of solutions that we can offer for different type of rooms or services. So, you know, we've gone from a small huddle room to a kind of like a larger meeting space. And then if you wanted to have this capability to connect a telephone call with a web call or a video call, go for a bigger solution. Go for one of our Konftel 300 products, either the analog version with USB, the IP version, IPX with USB, the mobile version, the 300MX with USB as well, or the well, that's it. You know, those are the options. You've got analog, GSM, and IP, all with USB capability. So you can have one network call or two network calls combined. And they're all expandable. You can connect a meeting of 20 people. And remember, with this social distancing, room sizes need to be considered going forward, and meeting sizes. So make your choices. And then what about if, as we said before, if you really want the bee's knees, for you overseas viewers today, in our world, that is kind of, if you want the best of the best, have the high definition audio and video combination of the Cam 50 and the Konftel 800. You can have smart microphones if you want. You can daisy chain these. So for a small use or a big use, this is great for these acoustically challenging rooms where there are glass tables, glass windows, obviously glass walls. You know, acoustically, you know, a tough setup. For those of you in the installation business, you'll know all about that. So you need great quality audio that will give you the best solution for those kind of environments. And when people are in the room, the more natural the sound, the better the meeting. So that's the kind of the capabilities of the range. So that's kind of our view on conferencing, on collaboration, on video. There's a lot to kind of offer. There's a lot of applications, but there are a lot of solutions, and we try to offer something for everybody. And to make it easy, you know, we do fully support these try and buy scenarios. If you or your customers want to try a Konftel, go onto our website, click on try and buy, fill in your details, and we will be able to share that service and get you some Konftel devices for you to try. 2-week evaluation, so fill it in when you're ready. There's huge demand for these products, so please don't get one and kind of sit on it when you're not ready. When you're ready, we can supply you and you can test it yourself. You've got uncharted access to our own online help facilities. It's all free of charge, no matter whether you're a customer, a reseller, or a prospective user. Just speak to our people. They'll help you with any questions. Most of our kit is plug and play, but there are online tutorials, but there's also a helpline as well. And even more, if you've got kit that doesn't really do what you want to do it, get rid of it. But we will give you a discount for doing that. So we're doing a trade-in program globally, so that anybody who's got any equipment, and that could be anything that you're using for your collaboration tools at the moment, if you want to kind of move up and use what we're showing you today, just do that. Contact your distribution partner in country, and they can give you great extra discounts for taking Konftel, and you then dispose of the other kit however you want to. So we're not making it difficult, we're trying to make it easy. These are critical times for everybody. Collaboration is absolutely king, and it's important that we all support and offer the best way we can. So these are the examples of what we can do to help you all to move on and to move up and to move with Konftel. And everybody's doing it. Here's a photograph that went around social media in the last weekend of the esteemed Prime Minister of England using Konftel kit. He's got a Konftel camera at the front of the room and a Konftel 800 in the middle. There's a proliferation of this equipment throughout government. Doesn't stop you getting ill. I've got to say, it's not that kind of tool. But whether you're a big group, a small group, whether you're isolating or whether you're not, Konftel can really help everybody to be very, very efficient and keep everybody moving. It's more important than ever. So that brings us to the end of the presentation. Delighted that so many of you joined on. This is a fantastic attendance list. There will be a recording of this. It will be emailed out to you all probably tomorrow. If there are any questions, you know, please, we've got a few minutes while this is open. You can do that. There are some online now already. Someone's asking, can we send the images around? We can't, but you can Google them of the Prime Minister. If you just put Boris Johnson video conferencing, you'll get it. So there's actually quite a few questions coming through at the moment. What I will do, we've got your details. I will answer everybody as best I can, or our guys have. Lynn, yes, we have got some good information. If you go to our website, you're asking for marketing material on Konftel 800. Just go to our website, click on audio, click on Konftel 800, and you will see everything there. An alternative way on our website is if you go to the very bottom of the homepage, konftel.com, you will see marketing resources. Click on that and you get access to everything that you could probably want. But if you need anything else, just let us know. So there are lots of information available. Most of it is on our website. Start off there, please. And if you then think there's something else you need, just tell us. You know that we'll support you with that. So there's another question that's coming from James about a deck dongle for the 300WX to the Konftel hub. Very soon there will be dongles. There'll be a deck dongle and a Bluetooth dongle. They're both going through final approvals at the moment. So if you just kind of watch this space, we'll be publishing news on that in the next, I can't say when. Just at the moment, the world is a little bit crazy, but we are finalizing availability of those. So we'll be posting news on that shortly. There is, yeah, you're all going to get a copy of this content. There's a few more questions there. Yep, you're asking about the participant distance to a Konftel telephone. That varies. The kind of scenarios I showed before, with a Konftel Ego, you could sit around a table and you could be a few meters away. If you recall, I showed one slide of a family. It was my family, actually. A family sat in their lounge playing games and the Ego is at the front of the room underneath the television, and all of the family sits around the edge of the room, and it works perfectly. So that's kind of a 3 or 4 meter pickup. So on our website, there's more specific information about configuring and distancing, but you know, there is kind of like, I think we say typically for a Konftel 300 series, we've got a 30 square meter pickup range, or you can double that with expansion microphones. So sitting somewhere, you don't need to sit on top of the Konftel. You can sit, you know, 1, 2, 3 meters away, and it should pick you up, no problem at all. Just going through the questions. There's an awful lot of questions, actually. We were asked about a Konftel 70 that we displayed at the ISE exhibition. That's going to be launched this summer. We have been disrupted. The two products we launched at ISE, which were our all-in-one video solution, and the Konftel 70, a USB and Bluetooth device, which can be daisy chained as well. We have been delayed. It's not just production, development has been hit because unfortunately people are getting ill. So we're looking to launch both of those products in the summer, but we will confirm that when we can. So can you utilize other manufacturers' USB cameras or audio and bundle into your Konftel hub? Yes, you can. We don't want you to, but yes, you can. So that is an option. We can't. We will not authorize every brand, but it is designed as a USB connectivity. So if you've got a USB alternative, you can. But try Konftel. I understand that some people have already made investments, but if you've got a video solution, add a Konftel audio solution. If you've got an audio solution, add a Konftel video solution. Give it a go. So the questions are coming through all the time. Right, I think we're actually running out of time here. So what I will do, if there's any more questions that come through, I will try and answer them. Yeah, the marketing toolkit is available at the bottom of our homepage. Please use it. And any questions you have, just contact marketing@konftel.com or me, and we will get, we can kind of give you a quick tour around of that as well if you want to. So, so folks, I'm going to close this now. There will be a recording. It will be sent to you. If you or you've got other colleagues or customers who you think this could be useful for, there will be another version of this next Wednesday, the 8th of April, and that's running at the same time, 10:30 British summertime. So please spread the word, come and join us, and let's get through this together. But let's collaborate. It's our lifetime now. So thank you very much, and stay safe, everybody.